It's live. என்னோட ஸ்லைட் ஃபுல்லா தெரியுதா?
Full sir. Okay, da.
Okay, okay.
Light மேல் பார்த்து.
Live.
Okay. Good morning and good day to all the audience and viewer from the Master University Facebook page and YouTube channel. Welcome to the webinar conducted by the Faculty of Engineering, Built Environment and Information Technology of Master University. My name is Velavan Agnasalam. I am a mechanical student in the Master University and I will be serving as your moderator today. And today we will be hearing the presentation from Mr. Surya Prakash Vijay Surya. Surya Prakash Surya has 7 years of working experience in the engineering industry by involving in bioprocessing, biogas plant projects, manufacturing, precision gauge blocks in automated irrigation system, and also sustainable development projects. Surya Prakash Vijay Surya obtained his degree Bachelor in Mechanical Engineering Honours from the University of Sunderland in UK, and also he has completed his Masters in Science Energy and Sustainable Development at the De Montfort University in UK with a distinction. And also he is an industrial trainer, a certified trainer of HRPF, experience in conducting training based on smart education system, nanotechnologies, sustainable energy, composting, and circular economy. His research area is focusing on smart irrigation by using PV system and also technological application for sustainable agriculture. And now currently he is working as a lecturer of the Faculty of Engineering, Built and Environment of Information Technology of Master University, the Malaysian campus association, with the two type of university, which is ARU and UEL, which is Angelia State University and also University of East. Without further ado, I would like to welcome Mr. Surya Prakash Vijay Surya, who will be speaking to us with the topic Smart Manufacturing Technologies for Sustainable Future. All right, Mr. Surya, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Veluan, for the nice introduction. Good morning to industrialists, professionals, senior lecturers, professor, dean, deputy dean, and to the whole MASA Faculty of Engineering, Built Environment, and IT. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to present my title today, Smart Manufacturing Technology for Sustainable Future. What is smart manufacturing technology? Why it is very important for sustainable future? How it is very much aligned to Industry 4.0 is the one of the major key points that I'm going to discuss today. If you can see that Industry 4.0 is very much related to robotics, artificial intelligence, big data, Internet of Things, and also augmented reality. So these technologies have been implemented in manufacturing processes and manufacturing line. That is how it turns a traditional manufacturing to a smart manufacturing. So that is why my topic today is smart manufacturing technology for sustainable future. Why sustainable future? Why sustainability is very important? Because sustainable development, or we can use the term sustainability, which means we are currently using the resources that are available. For example, minerals that we used. For example, we cut trees for producing papers. When we cut a tree, we have to make sure the resource is take care very well for this generation, and we should not be compromised for the future generation as well. So that is basically what sustainability means. We have to take care of the resources, we have to minimize the waste, and we have to make sure there is a stable supply of resources, not for only for our generations and also for our future generations as well. So the introduction for this is the smart manufacturing technology utilizes machines and tools which are interconnected for the improvement of manufacturing system and also for the energy optimization. The benefits of utilizing a smart manufacturing technology is most of the companies, they are focusing on cost reduction, increased productivity, product customization, resources efficiency, and minimization of negative environmental impacts. A meaning of a minimization of environmental impacts such as less air pollution, production of carbon dioxide, minimizing the production of carbon dioxide. So most of the manufacturing companies now they are looking into these key points of it, even though they have very much of a lot of interest on the profit, but at the same time they also concerned about the environmental impacts and also the resource efficiency, which means the amount of efficiency needed to utilize the resources. Smart manufacturing is very much common to this term digitalization of manufacturing. Smart manufacturing is not only focused on the production of the level, it is focused on all the levels. For example, the design of the product, the supply chain, the production, the process, the distribution of the product, and up to the sales. It's all comes under the umbrella manufacturing. But when we started to use this term smart together with the manufacturing, we started to include the technology in the process, such as machine learning, artificial intelligence, connected robotics, so that manufacturers can able to analyze and also at the same time troubleshoot the issues that they are currently facing using the current cutting edge technologies. The transition to smart manufacturing starts with the bridging along data into a digital database. So, for example, they collect data as example of data, such as when they started to produce a paper, they started to collect data, how much paper they need, what are the materials to produce a paper, how long they need to produce papers per second. So all this analog data is started to turn into a digital database so that it is easy to analyze and also easy to find the error. When we use smart manufacturing, and then there's another term called sustainable manufacturing. What is actually sustainable manufacturing refers is it is ability to manage manufacturing operations in an environmentally and socially responsible manner, which means manufacturing takes place, but it also concerns about the environment. At the same time, it concerns about the social as well. So there are a lot of standards and programs, okay, formed around this idea so that it can able to accomplish a better measurement of science to really evaluate the trade-off that manufacturers must make every day to be sustainable. Why this whole thing is, when we manufacture or we produce a product, that product must be sustainable. Not up to, let's say we produce a smartphone and then after 3 to 4 years we just turn into a wastage. Not like that. That smartphone can able to recycle back, and the materials in the smartphone can able to use back in producing another new smartphone. That is what the current manufacturing is kind of looking at. So for example, let's say we're looking at a linear economy. The linear economy, it produces the product, and then after it goes through all the process of the manufacturing, it starts to sell it to the customer, and then the customer use it and then turn into a wastage. The product turn into a wastage after 5 to 6 years. But this is linear economy. But when we look at a circular economy, where it is supports the sustainability of it, the circular economy of it is when it manufactures up to the product and goes to the customer sends it back to the factory use it as a supply material of the product that is already been used by the customer, change into a material, and then the same material they refurbished and then they produce a new phone. So something like that, it's been emphasized by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD. So this organization is very much into sustainability. They emphasize and also encourage a lot of companies to implement sustainable manufacturing and also smart manufacturing, which is supports sustainability. Okay, what are the types of technology used in smart manufacturing? There are a lot of famous technologies. So I have picked up few technologies that the current company is implementing today. Number one, robotics or artificial intelligence. Number two, big data. Number three, augmented reality, nanotechnology, 3D printing, and also nowadays they are implementing 4D printing, cloud computing, Internet of Things, and 5G. These are the technologies smart manufacturing companies are using to improve their production rate, to minimize the waste materials, at the same time to reduce the environmental impact. Examples of robotics used in the smart manufacturing. If you see, there's a company in Germany, Bayer Dynamics. It's a audio producing company. They manufacture audio. This company, what they tend to do is they implemented a two-finger robot. Okay, it's called as a robotic two-finger gripper. It's like a gripper kind of it. At the same time, they use a wrist camera to pick up speakers and place them in a dedicated area where the pieces get sprayed with the glue. So they use two different robots. One, it picks up and plays it. A second robot, it's called as a universal robot UR5, handles the glue spray. So one pick up and place it, another one will start to spray with the glue, and then it will stick it together. So according to the company, it says that the production rate is increased 15%. So, which means human workers at Bayer Dynamic report that despite the factory's limited floor space, it's easy to work alongside the robots because it has been fixed, and then the robots are more efficient. At the same time, human workers, which we can call it as expertise, they take care of the arms, the robotic arms. Let's say, for example, for maintenance purpose, to make sure the robotic arms uh, operate throughout the working hours. So that is the one of the examples that a buyer dynamic company is utilizing. This is one of the examples of robotics have been used in the smart industry. If we move to the next technology, which is artificial intelligence, one of the examples that artificial intelligence is being used is the Amazon. Everyone knows that Amazon is a very famous company. Amazon ships things where people buy, it ships, and also it stores products. Okay, it uses most of them they aware that Amazon uses artificial intelligence for digital voice assistant like Alexa, but not only that, it also use artificial intelligence to ship things to you before you think about buying it. Let's say the customer used to buy every week. Let's say if I'm used to buy every week smartphone. Okay, a smartphone I buy this week, and then after 2 3 months I buy a smartphone for my friend, and then after 2 3 months I buy a smartphone for my parents. So what is artificial intelligence do? That it collects the data about the buying habits, and then it slowly helps to recommend the items to the customer. So which means it predicts and then recommends the item to me. So that's how this Amazon, they uses the artificial intelligence, they recommend the item and also provides the customers customized recommended items only to specific customers. So each customer have a different kind of items. So this is how this America's largest e-tailer offers a new convenience store called as the Amazon Go. Unlike other stores, there is no checkout required. The stores have artificial intelligence technology that tracks what items you pick up and then automatically charges you for those items through the Amazon Go app. There's an Amazon Go app actually on your phone. So when you log in into this Amazon Go app, this artificial intelligence will work and started to collect the data and recommend to you. So this is one of the examples that one of our we know this company and it is implementing artificial intelligence, and what is it's recommending is try to use more artificial intelligence in other parts of its companies as well. So the third example is the big data implementation in the smart manufacturing. How they use big data, where it is being implemented. So everyone knows Starbucks. We like to drink Starbucks. So Starbucks is an international brand, okay? But lot of the branches of Starbucks, even though it opens everywhere, they attract lot of customers. How? They use this called big data technology. They collect the information from the customers through the mobile app, how they order. They also study the behavior of it. And then the company uses this big data to adjust the menu according to the customer preference. For example, I and my friend going into the Starbucks store, and then we open the app. For me, it will show a different kind of a menu. For my friend, it will show a different kind of a menu. That is how the big data helps to increase the manufacturing process and also the profitability of Starbucks. Moving to the next examples of technology, for examples, 5G and also augmented reality is actually taking place. A lot of companies started to use this to provide training for their expertise, for their staff, and also for the professionals that enter the manufacturing line. They use this 5G and augmented reality in the smart manufacturing. For example, mobile virtual reality, we mention it as a VR, and augmented reality, we mention it as a AR, are being used in more industries, including game industries, educational, healthcare, and also manufacturing. Now, VR and AR, they combine with 5G. It's like a kind like a glass. They wear it, and then it can able to show you the whole environment. Okay, how it can able to show the whole environment. For example, we go into the educational industry. When we wear the glass in the educational industry, it can show the whole classroom. For example, we enter the classroom for, let's say, a lab to conduct an experiment. It shows the whole experiment in a virtual reality mode where we can test the experiment, use the tools, implement it, and it will bring us a experience beforehand. We submerge beforehand we go to the actual process of the experiment. So this provides the whole extended reality experience. So that is why this Qualcomm, this company, they uses a Snapdragon technology to used in the smart manufacturing processes. So before you go to the actual manufacturing line processes, engineers and professionals, they use this augmented reality to practice themselves, and then they move into the manufacturing process. At the same time, 5G gives a better internet coverage and also supports more high sensors, high capability sensors to connect and also to transfer data from one point to another point. Examples of a nanotechnology used in the smart manufacturing industry is uh, there's a company called Hummingbird Scientific. This is very I like this company a lot because the name of the is very uh, unique name. So they implement this nanotechnology in production of electronic chips, X-ray, ion microscope, and also they also advise clients to implement their technology, which is the nanotechnology, to produce complex systems, and also from mechanical up to electrical. They advise them, they provide them solution. So this is one of the examples of the nanotechnology being implemented in the smart manufacturing process. One of the famous technology that most of the companies, even in Malaysia, they've been implementing is the 3D printing. Another term for 3D printing is additive manufacturing. What is actually 3D printing and 4D printing is? I've shown you one of the images saying that from the one dimension to two dimension of the sketch, and then the three dimension is just increase of the volume, The fourth dimension is the time. When we printed a 3D printing material, they can print gears, they can print wind turbines, small scale wind turbines using 3D printing. They can able to print any customization product. This 3D printing basically can develop further to 4D printing. When they use smart materials to print 3D printing, when the smart material start to react according to the time and temperature, it is basically a 4D printing. One of the examples of the company is the General Electrical Company, GE. GE is a multinational company. It is also based in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. They tend to use 3D printing, which is additive manufacturing, to print metal parts and also electronic parts. Most of it they use to do metal parts. They use different kind of filament to print 3D printing. So, utilizing direct metal laser melting and electron beam melting processes, the company's additive machine hardware melt and layer metal powders to build custom part solution. One of the famous point that they utilizes this 3D printing is they can able to do a customized product, and also to test the customized product they no need to print thousands or 2000s of parts of it. They can only print one, test it, which means if let's say it fails, they can able to control the wastage. Let's say it fails, it will turn into a wastage, right? They can able to control the waste, which is they can able to minimize the waste. So that is the one of the advantage of utilizing 3D printing and 4D printing in the smart manufacturing industry. Another technology I would like to introduce all of you is the Internet of Things. The short form of it is IoT. IoT is very much used in vegetable production. This system uses many different kind of sensors: soil humidity sensor, pressure sensor, temperature sensor. A soil humidity sensor like the soil moisture sensor, it detects humidity. Pressure and temperature, it detects using a DHT. DHT is basically uses humidity and also temperature. Pressure is a different sensor. So all of this combination of the sensors uh, collects the data and then sends the signal to a microcontroller. Maybe it can be a Node MCU, it can be a Arduino integrated with IoT. So this technology, this microcontroller, what tends to do is it will send signal to the farmers, and then farmers can able to control the water supply and also the fertilizer supply, not at the farm itself. They can control it from their home. As long as there's an internet, there's a strong internet coverage, they can able to use this technology. So IoT is very famous in smart manufacturing technology, but most of the time it has been used to produce vegetables, and it is also implemented in the agriculture industry. So we have seen a lot of smart manufacturing taking place, and from industry 1.0, it moves to 2.0, where the mass production, they focus on mass production, and then slowly they combine with the digital technologies, like they started to utilize computer electronics, where the industry 3.0 bonds, and slowly IoT, robotics, artificial intelligence starts to take place, where the industry 4.0 bond. But even though already 2020, still a lot of countries, developing countries, are still trying to develop the industry 4.0. Only certain developed countries have already implemented industry 5.0, where uh, not only simple customization of products taking place, mass customization of the product, cyber physical human intelligence, cognitive systems, more complicated big data analytics have been taking place. So when we started to achieve that level in the company, which means we already achieved industry 5.0. So as I mentioned, we have 17 sustainable development goals, and smart manufacturing process, a smart manufacturing technology must able to address one of the 17 sustainable development goals, so that the whole thing can be sustainable. not only up to the profit, the company not only concerned about the profit through doing a lot of from implementing a lot of technologies. At the same time, they also concerned about the environment and also the sustainability of the product, so that even our future generation can able to implement this kind of technologies. So thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you, Mr. Velavan.
Thank you, Mr. Surya, for your interesting presentation. I have a question regarding on your topic.
Sure, sure.
Uh, so the first question would be about the smart manufacturing regarding
Yeah.
3D printing. So
Okay.
I just go through that. I have a point that you have mentioned that it's environmental friendly. How
Yeah.
how to compute that 3D printing is environmental friendly, and what type of material do you use for 3D printing, sir, in smart manufacturing?
Okay, that was a very good question, because nowadays, when we talk about sustainability, and also we talk about the material that does not pollute the environment and minimizes the environmental impact, one of the material they used is they can use PP. Not say it's a filament. That filament is a biodegradable filament. Okay,
Oh,
so the biodegradable filament, it is made up of materials that is biodegradable. So this biodegradable filament, they use resins that can able to degrade in the land after a few years. So something like this does not provide very high impact to the environment. Another way, if you can see, is let's say they started to produce plastics right nowadays. That plastics
yes.
can able to use back to produce a filament. This filament, they use it back to produce another product. So plastics are everywhere. They collect a lot of plastic rubbish and everything. They clean it. It goes through the process and then they turn into a filament. That filament it can able to use back to produce another product through 3D printing technology. Definitely not 4D printing, because 4D printing uses a smart material technology. Okay, so 3D printing, that is how they utilizes the waste and turn into a filament, and then the filament is used to produce metal parts.
So it's a very good solution to be
Yep.
used in the smart manufacturing. Okay. Another question, sir, regarding
Yes,
the
sure.
IoT for the uh, IoT regarding for the smart manufacturing. As we can see from now, it's very usable for the vegetable production. I mean, for like farming.
Yeah.
Is it possible, sir, the IoT is functionable for the rural areas? With some of the farmers, they are staying in very deep area, they cannot get internet connectivity. So how possible they can use this system?
Yeah, that's one of the challenging questions actually. You are true. IoT is only applicable when there is internet coverage. When there's a, if let's say 5G town, like say in Malaysia, Gamuda is developed. You know, Gamuda, they're developing a lot of housing areas, residential
Yes.
areas, and they also developing industries. These industries, these residential areas, they need a strong internet coverage. Okay, so when there is a strong internet coverage, IoT can take place. The technology can be implemented easily. But in rural areas where there is a very difficulties of internet, it is very hard. That is where Arduino technology, Raspberry Pi, and other microcontroller type of technology takes place, where they uses an automated system. Maybe IoT can add value to a place where they uses the internet. So that is actually a challenging for the IoT technology.
Oh, that's very interesting. Thank you for your explanation. We have come to the end part of the presentation. Thank you very much, Mr. Surya Prakash, for addressing this interesting topic and also for sharing this section. Hopefully, this presentation was beneficial for everyone. On behalf of Master University and Engineering Faculty, we would like to thank you for joining us today. Thank you for your time and cooperation.
Thank you, Mr. Velan, for the very good questions, and thank you very much for the opportunity again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.